Hello guys, it's me Simu Orahara, and in this video we'll talk about Ichigo's family, whether from his father's side Isshin Shiba or from his mother's side Masaki Kurosaki, as well as about the reason why some Shinigami or nobles hate the Shiba family, which Ichigo belongs to. So in the beginning guys, let us start by talking about the Ichigo family, and I prefer to start with the Masaki side, Ichigo's mother. This side, unfortunately, we don't know much about it, because Masaki and her entire family, which is the Kurosaki, passed away. We don't know what happened to them. Is it because of the Hollow attack, or is there another reason? All we know is that Soken's mother said that the Kurosaki family no longer exists, and Masaki is the only one left. What happened to the Kurosaki family, and what are the reasons which makes all the Kurosaki members disappear from existence? But on the other hand, we can consider that the Ishida family would have been Masaki's second family if Masaki's relationship with the Ishida family had remained good. But as you know, Masaki's relationship with the Ishida family no longer the same after the incident of her being bitten by White. Her blood was stained with the Hollow, especially since in that house, the Ishida house, she was considered as a future wife for Ryuken. However, I think if Masaki had remained alive, Ichigo or one of her daughters, Yuzo or Karen, would have asked her this question, and there Masaki might have answered whether the truth or with a fake story, as Isshin may have done to their children, such that Ichigo for 15 years believed that his father was just an ordinary human, when in fact he belonged to one of the great noble families, the Shiba family. And speaking about Isshin, what we know about him is that he is from the family branch of Shiba, while his brother, who is the father of Kaien, Kukaku, and Ganju, from the main branch. And regardless of the issue of the branches, all members of the Shiba family share characteristics that may not find in other great families. So if we look at Isshin or Kaien or Ganjo or Kukaku, you will find that these characters have a cheerful blood, devoid of those protocols which pertains to noble families, and more than that, they don't use this nobility as a law they should stick with. For example, if we take Byakuya, it's not an issue that his personality was in itself created to have noble actions, but he wanted to follow the teachings of noble families with all strictness, especially after he broke it once by marrying Hisana. He didn't say, fuck the rules, I will do what I want, I love this girl and I will marry her and I will not care what others say. No, Byakuya, despite his marriage to Hisana, the idea that he had broken that law remained in his mind, and therefore he swore in front of his father's graves not to repeat that mistake. And based on that, he almost contributed to the execution of his sister Rukia because of his adherence to the law. While on the opposite side, Isshin left behind all those laws and even the world in which those laws exist, for the sake of the thing that he saw right. Rather, and the strange thing here is that Isshin's son Ichigo explained this concept to Byakuya when he fought him in order to save Rukia. Therefore, these things that distinguish Isshin or Ichigo are not only because of their personalities, but because of the blood they carry, which goes back to the first ancestor. Because those behaviors that lead them to do the things that they see as right, regardless of what others see, are what created problems for them with the rest of the other noble families and made many of them look at them differently. And if we go back to the past and exactly to the ancestors of noble families when they took Ryo as a pillar of the new world, we will see that the main culprit in this crime was Tsuneyashiro's ancestor, and the rest to varying degrees, except Shiba's ancestor. Of course, we cannot remove the accusation of participation in this matter, but at least he wanted to atone for his mistake by wanting to put himself in Ryu's place by searching for a new technique that enables him to do so. He also told Tsuneyashiro's ancestor that they must announce what they had done to the rest. However, Tsuneyashiro's ancestor was the stone that stood in the way of completing what Ichiba's ancestor wanted to do. And according to the monk Ichigo, what Ichigo's ancestor wanted to do was the reason that made it Sonyachiro's family try to hide Shiba's ancestor from history and make his descendants cold limit by the rest of the nobles. However, this thing was not the only reason. Rather, as I said, the blood of the first ancestor ran in his descendants, and because of that, they did several things that increased the intensity of this dispute between Shiba and the rest of the noble families. For example, if we go back to the reasons that caused Shiba to be expelled from the Serachi as well as from the great noble families of the five, then we can say that there are two main reasons. The first is the killing of Kai and Shiba. Up until that time, the Shiba family had been living in the Serachi, but the death of Kain made the rest of the family move to live outside the Serachi. And I'm speaking here about Kukaku and Ganjo. Ganjo was still young at the time. However, the side branch was still in the Serachi, and I'm talking here about Isshin Shiba. Isshin Shiba was still a captain at the time. However, what he will do next, by going to the real world and leaving his possession without justification, it will be the final chapter of Isshin Shiba's family in the Serachi as a noble family. So the family will be removed from this possession. For all of these factors, the nobles always looked at Shiba as a family that did not represent the values that they believed in. Of course, we will not say all the nobles, because there are some of them who seems to have had a good relationship with some members of that family, such as Yorichi's relationship with Kukaku. And speaking of Kukaku, in the novel, when Tokinada met with Yorichi in Byakuya, who represents the great families, he discussed with them the idea of reinstating the Shiba family to its possession again. Of course, he put forward several possibilities, such as Ichigo being the new family leader, or even his sisters Yuzu and Karin. But later this possibility was also presented even to Kukaku, that she would be the family leader. Kukaku here will answer with an answer that summarizes what we have said. So that she said that she had no desire to do so, and that she was doing what she wouldn't regret about, like her older brother Kaien or her uncle Isshin, to say in the end that this runs in their blood, and it seems that this is their fate. In the end, guys, Shiba's blood played an important role in building Ichigo's character, which we have always seen characterized by the concept of protection, starting from protecting his mother to protecting everyone whom Ichigo considers a friend. So guys, what do you think about this topic? Tell me your opinions in the comments, and see you guys in my next video.